Hi, my name is Miriam Gedwiser. I teach here at Drisha, and today I wanted to talk about the man. The bulk of Parashat Beshalach is devoted to the Exodus, the Jews' path out of Egypt, their arrival at the Yam Suf, the Red Sea, confrontation with Paro there, the miraculous splitting of the sea, the drowning of Paro's army, and this, of course, the Song of the Sea. That takes us through more than half of the Parsha. The rest of the Parsha is mostly devoted to chronicling the travails of Bnei Israel in getting food and water in the desert and various miraculous solutions that God provides. One of those solutions is the man, which is what we'll talk about. The man episode is actually the first time in the Torah that any of the specifics about Shabbat conduct are spelled out, right? Because the man falls for 6 days, but then on the 7th day, there's a change in routine. And this passage becomes a source of various laws about Shabbat for us as well. For example, Exodus 16:5, which starts, "V'haya b'yom hashishi v'yechinu et asher yaviu, v'haya mishna al asher yivtu yom yom." It shall come to pass on the 6th day, they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Right, sort of the classic idea, the double portion of man. That's understood as a source for not preparing from Shabbat to weekdays. Right, on Friday you prepare for Shabbat, but you don't prepare vice versa from Shabbat to another day. Homiletically, this verse is also taken in the Talmud on Shabbat 117b in a statement attributed to Rabbi Chizda as an exhortation not to delay Shabbat preparations. V'haya b'yom hashishi, immediately at the dawn of the 6th day, as soon as you collect the man, which is sort of first thing in the morning, v'yechinu et asher yaviu, then prepare, right? And maybe you can end up like my grandmother, Alaha Shalom, whose table was always ready for Shabbat in the middle of Friday afternoon. On the other hand, if you're like me, and you find yourself always rushing to get everything done before Shabbat, the Tanchuma records an alternative to Rabbi Chizda's position, which is a statement of Rabbi Zera that even though one acquires the Shabbat provision earlier in the day on Friday, there's still a mitzvah. He uses the word mitzvah to do more. He says shirodef, for you're chasing around, which really captures the experience in my life, at least. So there's a mitzvah to rodef bein hashmashot, right, just at the very end of the day. And his proof text there is the same verse, which says, V'haya mishneh, right, it will be double, not a double portion, which is the pshat, but double preparation, morning and afternoon, evening. The same Gemara in Shabbat talks about a few other practical practices that we learn from the man as well. For example, verse 22 in chapter 16 says, V'haya b'yom hashishi, Lakatu lechem mishneh shnei omer lechad, right? Came to pass on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers, which is a measuring amount for each one, right? This is the source, or at least one of the sources, though there are other explanations for the idea of having 2 loaves of bread on Shabbat, as well as the phrase lechem mishneh, right? Rav Ashi relates that he used to see Rav Kahana in the same Gemara, that he saw Rav Kahana hold both loaves, right? Even though he was only going to eat one, which you may also see as well. This is based on the same verse, Lak 2, right, that they collected. So just like the Bnei Israel collected their man, we collect our bread, even if we're not going to eat it all right now. The Gemara goes on to cite the following Braita. Our rabbis taught, how many meals must one eat on Sabbath? 3. The first opinion, that's the opinion of the anonymous, we call the Tanakama, sort of an anonymous dominant opinion. And Reb Chidka says 4. Explaining this machloket, Rabbi Yochanan observes, both actually derive from the same verse. Moses said, eat that today, for today is Sabbath unto the Lord, today ye shall not find it in the field. Reb Chidka holds the repetition of 3 today, hayom, 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 means 3 meals during the day of Shabbat, whereas the Tanakama, sort of the first opinion, holds it's 3 meals total, right? 1 at night and 2 during the day, which is our practice. First, it's interesting to note that in addition to the repetition of Hayom 3 times in this verse, the passage discussing the collection of the man for Shabbat, which let's say it starts from in Exodus 16 verses 22 to 25, from Vayihi b'yom hashishi, right on the 6th, it happened on the 6th day, following to Vayihi b'yom hashvi on the 7th day, uses the word yom or yamim or other derivative 7 times, which is sort of a classic keyword number, which maybe emphasizes sort of like the dailiness of the man routine. So we have the man as also the source for our number of meals on Shabbat, and in fact, actually, there is a sort of a Kabbalistic-ish practice to say this verse as the kiddush, as it were, for Shalosh Shidduch, for Sudash Shishit, even though there really is no kiddush for Sudash Shishit. Some people say this. It's because this is the source for the mitzvah to have that meal at all. A little bit more broadly, I want to talk about how these various derivations for our Shabbat from the Shabbat of the man in the desert sort of work. In the desert, the point is basically this, right? You get the same amount every day. You can't take more, you can't take less. And the Midrashim say, right, even if you try, it shrinks or it expands. But on Friday, you take double so that you can have the same amount for Friday and for Shabbat, because you're not going to collect on Shabbat. But the amount for Shabbat is the same as the amount for every other day. It's always the same. But what's sort of striking is that the way that this episode becomes a model for our Shabbat, it becomes a source for having 3 or 4 meals when the default, according to the rabbis, is 2. And it becomes a source for having 2 loaves of bread on the table, even though, right, the point of collecting 2 on Friday was 1 for Friday, 1 for Shabbat, but now we have them both on the table for Shabbat. One thing I thought might be going on is a play off of the other major difference between the man and our Shabbat, which is that man falls from the sky, as we know, and our Shabbos meals generally do not. We have to work for our food and then work to make it. Perhaps the idea of preparing extra for Shabbat gives the same kind of feeling once you arrive actually at Shabbat as being taken care of that Bnei Israel must have experienced in the desert when they had this reliable, constant source of food. This in turn may bring us back to the initial statement of Rabbi Zera, where he talks about learning from Vehechinu et Asher Yaviu that you should prepare right away, that you should always be ready early on Friday, right? Our Shabbos meal is not falling from the sky, but if you prepare early enough for Shabbat, you can go in with a similar feeling when Shabbat actually comes. Psychologically, right, it's already done, and you just have to sort of come in and take it. Whether or not your tables are actually set midday on Friday, I hope this Shabbat you can partake of the feeling of being truly provided for, both physically and spiritually. Shabbat Shalom.